curtain. Shutting the curtain. Taking off my glasses. Ta-da. All right. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Number 4. This ain't number 4. This is 242, but number 4, fourth day of not wanting to do yoga. Too much honesty here. And I'm really trying to dive into not the reason, because I'm aware of the reason, because I have a lot of priorities that are higher than wanting to do yoga. Not higher than yoga, not higher than doing yoga, but wanting to do yoga. And today, I got ready late to come out here because that's one of the things. Then what happens for me, I keep on late. I'm not late here, but I was running late. So I was rushing. So this morning I looked up a quote about commitment. And this is from a philosopher that I learned about a while ago, Jean-Paul Sartre. I don't really know how to say his name. It's French. Jean-Paul Sartre. I thought my man's name was Jean-Paul. Okay, Jean-Paul Sartre. And his quote about commitment is an act, not a word. Commitment is an act, not a word. When I read that, I thought, that's truth there. He's almost stripping language from the action that makes us label a verb as a noun. What does that mean? That means almost everything is an action. Language is tricky. We take words and we think the word is a truth, and then when we throw it on an action and say it's a noun, almost like it's stagnant. But it's not. Commitment is a noun, technically, but it's a verb. Without the action, there wouldn't be any noun to throw onto it, any label to label it. It wouldn't exist, in other words. Almost like the word walk. Walk is a noun. It could be a noun. It's an act. It is a label to put on an action. And we say, hey, that action, walking, can be a noun too because it's an act. But without the action, there wouldn't be any walk. If you didn't walk, you couldn't label it as he went for his morning walk. That would be a noun. Morning would be the adjective, I think. I'm not an English teacher. Pretty sure though. My point is that everything is an action. Everything is a verb. Everything exists because of movement. And language distorts that reality. So this goes to commitment because it's about doing. Commitment would not exist if you weren't doing something that you're committed to. And that's what I'm doing. I'm committed to doing yoga every morning at 5:30 a.m. I talk about 7-10 minutes for about 7-10 minutes. So I've been doing it 242 days in a row, and I'm committed to do it for 365 days in a row. Now next week, it's going to get difficult. And this is what's part of my issue of trying to keep it going. One, I don't have a good camera. That always doesn't feel good because I can't do certain poses. Don't have a great mic. Can't live stream because my phone, this is not the phone, this is an old phone, but I have a phone that does better than this camera, but I have to have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube to live stream. And I want to use my phone, but I have to use this. So all these little things start adding up. It makes you feel like, man, this ain't working out. 242 days. I mean, I painted, put pictures on the wall. You can go to the first video and see the progression, but then it stopped. And it stopped about a month before Christmas because bills. I know, I got a full-time job, make money, but bills and kids, this is not a priority. The equipment is not a priority. Especially when you're married. You can't just go buy a $1,000 camera. Can't do that unless I want to be divorced. And I don't want that. So next week, this is all going to change because I have to not do it here anymore. And I don't know where to do it. So that's part of the problem, right? But I'm committed. And the point of it, and I'm beginning to talk about commitment. And this is just bite-sized information in regards to commitment. And I'm going to start talking about how to stay committed. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to analyze it and then start talking about this is how you can stay committed and give you a technique to use. And almost preach what I talk in a way. So this is the 4th day. I don't feel like doing yoga. I don't feel like doing yoga because there's other things that's taking my mind away from wanting to do yoga. I'm going to do yoga anyway, but that feeling, man. Then there comes a feeling at the end of, hey, man, I feel good because I did yoga. That's a feeling. Sort of like you go for that run, and after you feel great, but you didn't want to do it. I'm not even talking about that. I'm not talking about the benefits you feel because you're now peaceful and you feel stretched out. Not that. I'm talking about something smaller, which is I did something I said I was going to do. Right there. That's commitment. Commitment is an action. Commitment exists because it's an action. It's actually a verb. Commitment, M-E-N-T, makes it a noun. But without the action, you wouldn't have a noun to place onto it. And commitment is almost, in a way, an energy that you're tapping into. And it taps into this bigger energy of, man, if I can do this on the mat, then I can do this. I can commit myself to this and that, this and that, and it starts growing. So today, I just put my phone up and I just realized we're going to do 2 minutes of a sitting meditation in the easy pose, focusing 100% on the breath. Remember, you're already breathing automatically. And when your mind wanders, and you start to think about other things, just gently bring your focus back to the breathing. And then when you start to control your breathing, and you will, just remember you're already breathing automatically and let go. So let go of thoughts, let go of control, and just watch yourself breathe. And then technically, the you dissolves and you become the watching. You're not the focuser. You become the focusing, the action. So, and then we'll do mountain pose, do some salutations. And I just walked out of the camera because I'm professional. I shut my curtain. And remember, focus 100% on the breathing. Just 2 minutes. We can do 2 minutes. I used to only do 2 minutes back in the day because that's all I could do. I don't mean I always did 2 minutes of meditation. I sat for 2 minutes and just let my mind be a monkey mind. So let me find my timer. I wish I had a timer where I said, at the end, it goes, beep, 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 beep. It's too loud. I got people sleeping. Shouldn't have did that. All right, so Just focus 100% on the breathing. 2 minutes. Back is straight, hands are in front. You just get comfortable. Even while you get comfortable, you're still focused on the breathing. Palms together, come to the heart center. Now keep your focus on the breathing even while you stand up. It's all part of the yoga routine. Even when I push my pillow to the side, focusing on the breathing. Same focus. This is what you're learning on the yoga mat. Even when you adjust, even when I fix my pockets, fix my pants, focusing on the breathing. So when you get off the yoga mat, you continue to stay focusing. Aware of the focusing. Of course, throughout the day, you have to shift and be present on certain things like your job, activities, listening to someone talk. But you're always aware that you're the focusing, watching, the verb. It's like I was mentioning. You're the commitment. That's not a verb, but you are the action that makes commitment. Now the mountain pose, feet are shoulder width apart, toes go up, spread the toes as wide as you can, each toe touches the floor one at a time. Knees are bent, hips are tilted, arms are relaxed, shoulders relax. And then you lengthen up. And you find that stability that threads through the skeleton as if you were just your skeleton. And then you're focusing on the stability and you're becoming the stability, not the skeleton. You are the stability. You're the focusing that blends in with the stability. It's all one. These are just words that split it up, but it's all oneness. And you're focusing on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. Letting the you dissolves this focusing. You become the focusing. And then palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Push arms out, up and back. Inhale slowly. Inhale as much as you can. And then exhale. As you exhale, you hinge forward from the lower back. Go all the way down. Go right into ragdoll. The ragdoll, the arms dangling, head is dangling. You're letting your body fall where it falls. You're not pushing into it. You're not pulling yourself into it. You're not trying to be somewhere. You're just accepting Let the body go where the body goes. You just focus on the breathing, letting yourself become the focusing. Don't judge it. Let go of judgment. Let go of trying to be somewhere. Let go of control. Now palms to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. Arch the back, raise the head. Inhale. Inhale as much as you can. Get all the air in. And then exhale. As you exhale, you pull yourself in and down. Foreheads go to the knees. Get all the air out. Once all the air leaves, you just release the breathing. You just focus on the breathing. Let yourself breathe. Now you are pulling yourself in and down, but you're becoming one. So although you're pulling yourself in and down, once you accept, you settle, you become one with the pose. Letting yourself breathe. So when you inhale, the belly swells with air. It pushes you out of the pose slightly. When you exhale, you go back into the pose. You become awareness. You're the focusing and you're the awareness. So you're aware of what's happening in the body. You're aware of maybe the stretch that's happening in the hamstrings. You're aware of your lower back. You are aware, but you're not focused on those things. Focus on the breathing. Left leg is back. Into a little lunge. With a little lunge, top of the foot to the floor. Can't see my clock. I have a clock right there. Top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor. Hips are pushing forward diagonally. Back is arching. Head is up. Front knee is not over the toes. And if it is, you want to lengthen up some. And you're focusing on the breathing. You're not judging. Not trying to be somewhere. You are accepting. The pose does not dictate whether you feel opened. You are in openness. You are openness. The you dissolves. I use language and I use the word you, but technically it's dissolving. You are not a you, lowercase u. Those are collections of thoughts, a notion of the self. And in yoga, thoughts do not exist, therefore the you does not exist in the sense that it dissolves and it becomes one. Now we're going to go to a high lunge. We're going to stay in the high lunge longer than we usually do. So curl the toes under the back, knee goes up. Get the leg as straight as you can. Back is straight or arch. My back is arched, even though it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's bent a little bit. But for me, that's an arch. So my back goes like that. So just accept it. I accept it. And I just focus on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. Letting thoughts go. Becoming one with the pose. Tapping into oneness. And then boom, you become oneness. Capital O oneness. Which is yoga. Just another word for yoga. And now you're going to go to downward dog. Go nice and easy. Arms are straight. Legs are straight. Tailbones to the ceiling. Heels are towards the floor. And you're pushing into the pose. You're pushing to the spot right before you feel like, man, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot. Settle. Accept. And focus on the breathing. Now, although you're pushing into the pose, once you're settled, it's almost like you're not. You're becoming one. You're finding that stability where there's no effort. Although there may be a little bit, but try to find it. If you can't, you accept. Don't judge it. Just accept. Now push a little bit more if you feel like you should. If you feel like you shouldn't, then don't. You want to listen to yourself. You're becoming your own guru. You are your own guru. your own teacher, your own leader, learning to listen to yourself. Not to me. Don't listen to me. We're doing yoga together. So drop down to the knees. The chest. Just slide up. Tops of the feet are to the floor. Of course, the palms are to the floor. So technically, the upward dog, tops of the feet are to the floor, palms are to the floor. Now for modification, you go to small cobra. Belly's on the floor, chest is up, palms are touching the floor, but you're not using them. You're using the back muscles, which are pull muscles. So you're pulling up. Or just modify the upward dog and just focus on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. You are the focusing. The you dissolves. The sun salutations are becoming a form of a moving meditation. You are the moving. That's what's cool about yoga. It's a moving meditation. You tap into this meditative state of moving. So when you get off the mat, you're moving throughout the day. You stay in this meditative state. And wherever you are, push a little bit more. Then settle, accept, and focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but of the breathing. Let the head dangle, no tension in the neck. Then the left foot is up. Between the hands into a low lunge. With the low lunge, top of the foot to the floor in the back. Knees to the floor. Hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is arching, head is up. And you are accepting. Don't judge it. That means if you're down a little bit, the body does not dictate whether you are openness, whether you become openness. Just tap into openness. Accept. And ultimately what you're doing is learning to accept yourself. That's the depth. And that means if you're doing it, what you're thinking is perfect. That's awesome. But you got to let go of that too. That's judgment as well. Still good. It's cool that you can do it perfectly, like the textbook or like a video you've seen or saw. But still judgment. You got to let go of that during the yoga routine. That's what we're doing. That's how we do yoga. So back leg is up. So knees up. High lunge. Focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but of the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. You're not thinking of the breathing. I'm sorry. You're the focusing. See, words are tricky, man. I keep on messing up on my words sometimes. Not keep on, sometimes. And then, standing forward bend, pull yourself in and down. Get all the air out. Once all the air leaves, boom. You become openness. The you dissolves. You become the capital R, realization. You are the capital E, enlightenment, capital E, experience. You are the observation. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Then turn the palms out, push the air down and out. Exhale. And then go to mountain pose. I gotta pull my clock up. Whoa. Almost fell just walking. I have a door here. So what time is it? What time is it? What time is it? Who said that? I think the Beastie Boys. Oh, yeah. It's that time. Oh, get ill. No. Going back to when I was, how old was I? I had to be 13 when that came out. So, we're going to follow our breathing. So you're focusing 100% on the breathing. You are becoming the focusing. Okay, so although I say focus on the breathing, indicating there's a you focusing, that's just a direction and an instruction. But what happens, you become the focusing, capital F focusing. You stay focused on the breathing, becoming the focusing as you move through the sun salutations. And the sun salutations become a form of a moving meditation. We're just going to do one. So when you're opening up, you're inhaling slowly as much as you can, focusing on the in-breath. Then when you close up, you're exhaling slowly, focusing on the out-breath. And you're going to open up, inhale, close up, exhale, and you focus just on the breathing. And what's happening, it becomes a form of a moving meditation. You're becoming the focusing, you're becoming the movement, you're becoming the experience, you're becoming the B, capital B. And it's all in order to get off the yoga mat and you could continue this meditative state throughout the day because you move throughout the day. And this is what you're learning on the yoga mat. This is personally why I like yoga, because you move in a meditative state, which mimics your everyday life, moving through. So on the yoga mat, for example, when your mind wanders, it happens. You bring your mind back to the moment. When you have to adjust yourself and you have to think, man, I got to adjust myself, modify it, same thing's happening on the yoga mat. You're at your job, you're talking to your boss, and your mind wanders. You start to think about something else, you ain't even listening to your boss. This happens. It's happened to me. And then you have to bring your focus back and listen. Be in the moment. And you have to adjust throughout the day. You have to modify throughout the day. You have to go with the flow. And this is what you're learning on the yoga mat. You could just continue this mindset off the yoga mat. So let's go ahead and begin. Feet are shoulder width apart. Toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe just flow one at a time. Knees are bent. Hips are tilted. Arms are relaxed. Shoulders relax. Neck is relaxed. Lengthen up. Find that stability in the skeleton. Stand as if you were just your skeleton. And then stand as the stability. You are the stability. You are the firmness. You are the oneness. Palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Push arms out, up and back. Inhale. Inhale as much as you can, focusing on the breathing. Then exhale. As you exhale, you hinge forward from the lower back. Palms to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. Pull yourself in and down. Get all the air out. Foreheads go to the knees. All the air leaves. Left leg is back into a low lunge. Opening up. Inhale. Inhale as much as you can, focusing on the in-breath. And then exhale, downward dog. Exhale, all the air out. All the air leaves. And then inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Left foot is up. Inhale. Inhale as much as you can. Exhale, standing forward bend. Palms together, reach out, up and back. Inhale. Then exhale. And back to mountain pose. Standing as if you were just your skeleton. And then, once you stand like that, you tap into becoming the stability. You are the stability that's allowing you to stand. We're just going to stay here a little bit longer. So just watch yourself breathe, letting the you dissolve, and you're becoming the watching. Palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Namaste. All right, so that's number 242. YouTube Live, the routine. And although I didn't want to do yoga. 4th day in a row, I did it. And I feel good because I stuck to my commitment. But today, I feel good because I did it. And I really, although I'm talking and teaching, my mind doesn't stay that focused, but it does at moments, and I feel good from that. So I need to learn how to teach and stay in the moment as I teach. And I've done that before. Just flowing with my words, flowing with the movements, flowing with the breathing. Everything's focused on breathing, and I'm just talking and flowing with the teaching, becoming the teaching. You're no longer the teacher trying to teach. I've tapped into that before. Been a long time, I haven't done it. Not on these, really. So, anyway, I will see you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. So, namaste, peace and love.